Okay, hi everybody, it's Sam. I'm going to start reading you Nightmare Room by E.M. Goldman. The reason I haven't read this earlier is just because of a lot of stuff was happening. Plus, I've been getting I'm on and off. I've been sick, so that's the reason I haven't been picking it up. Let me see. And these don't go by chapters, so I'm just going to read you the date on it, because it's like this. Tuesday, November 28th, 1. Ira was standing before the Banting High bulletin board. "Good morning, Ichabod." The girl's voice was deceptively sweet. He caught a glimpse of wiry copper hair as a khaki-clad figure moved to stand at his right. "Tess," he didn't turn from reading the announcements. "Good morning, Mother Teresa." If Tess pushed him any further, he'd ask for her blessing. With a murdered swear word, muttered. Give me a minute. Muttered. Here we go. Just can't understand that word. With a muttered swear word, the girl moved on. "Touché," he complimented himself. The warning buzzer hadn't even sounded, and already he'd drawn blood. Actually, he didn't mind being called Ichabod. He'd come into the nickname when he hit his growth spurt. Ichabod Crane. Okay, he was tall and gawky, and he had a nose too big for his thin face. He had it on good authority, female, that some other female thought he was cute, only his authority refused to tell him which one. Not Sandy Wilcox. Not a prayer. Just the boy I wanted to see. Mrs. Rudley was his grade 11th health teacher and also a school counselor. He froze into immediate guilt. What do I do? More likely, what hadn't he done? Whatever it was, he'd hand it in by the end of the week. Promise. It isn't anything you did. The slim black woman said, "It's what you're going to do. Stay here, don't move. I have a treat for you in my office." She disappeared through the doorway. First period started in 15 minutes. A teacher had a treat for him, sure. He glanced at the teacher's bulletin board full of notices about meetings that looked like guaranteed snooze time. Someone had tacked up a stained gym sock with a note reading, "Cinderella, where are you?" Miss Rudley was back immediately with a sheaf of announcements. "Read the one on top, or the one on the bottom. They're all alike." Caught by the sight of his own name, galvanized by another, that made his heart do willies. He began to skim the notice. He stopped and stared. "We're going..." Sorry, I never read this book. It's "We're doing the Argus program now." This was Star Wars stuff. Was it Argus? Did I say Argus? This was Star Wars stuff, the prototype of a computer program that was supposed to show them at their 10th high school reunion. Banting was on the first high school to try it. Just read the notice. Announcement. Date, November 28th. ATTN, Health Class 11, 7 students. RE Personal Development Unit, Joy Abercrombie, Matt Collar, Barbara Flores, Graham Hork, Ira Martinick, Tess Norville, Sandra Wilcox. Every time I hear Ira, if that's the boy's name, yeah, it is. Ira, that's the only problem I'm going to have with this book. Ira sounds like a girl's name, unless it's short for something. Your appointment with Argus is scheduled for 5 p.m. on Thursday, December 7th. We will meet in the observatory parking lot at the university, and I will have a few words with you before we enter the waiting area. You will bring permission slips signed by a parent or guardian as well as completed medical forms. Wear comfortable, loose clothing. Prepare for delays by bringing homework or other reading material of an uplifting nature. You will enter the night room one at a time for maximum value. Those who enter early are asked to refrain from discussing their insights with others waiting. Remember, Argus is a scientific program. Its purpose is to give you an idea of your possible future, based on your individual interviews and questionnaires filled out earlier. Other factors are luck, aptitude, skill, opportunities, and the willingness to work toward a goal. The purpose of this program is to get you to ask questions, not to provide answers. Life is a pie. You can choose the slice you want, although you won't necessarily get it. You can take whatever you're handed on a plate, or you can let the dessert cart pass you by. Edith Rudley, Counselor. C.C. Dr. Ursula Hellstrom. Very important brief meeting, 3:15 p.m. today, RM 101. The lines about the meeting after school had been underlined in red. We are going through Argus next Thursday night. Thursday, the teacher echoed. I know this is short notice, but Dr. Hellstrom's assistant just phoned me. The computer will be underutilized next week because of exams, so they were able to squeeze us in. Otherwise, we won't have an appointment until spring. Do you have any problem with the time? He shook his head. His social calendar wasn't exactly full, and he was curious about this computer program that was supposed to foretell his future. I'll phone the university and ask him to give Barbara Flores a message about this afternoon's meeting. Mrs. Rudley said, I believe you have classes with everyone except Sandy Wilcox. Ira always got a ringing in his ears from hearing her name. Speaking it made him breathless and giddy. Do you think that you can find her, Sandra? Ira wheezed. Wilcox? Sandra, the counselor paused. Wilcox. Bells chimed joyfully. Carillons, not the strident buzzer that calls students to first period homeroom. Ira heard little tinkling bells, huge, dignified, sumo wrestler-sized bells. Bells jingled on the harness of Santa Claus reindeer as they got delivered to deserving little boys. He also thought he heard Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star played on a Fisher-Price xylophone, although he wasn't prepared to swear to that. Earth to Ira, come in, Ira. Miss Rudley was looking at him peculiarly. My mouth is kind of dry. Peculiar. I can't do it. Peculiar. Oh, sure, it's easy for me to say that other word. Peculiarly. You'll find her standing near the entrance to the library. She's circulating a petition, I think. He tried to take a shortcut up a down staircase, got stopped, and had to run down again through hordes of students. After the second staircase, plus a 3/4 turn around the school, he suddenly saw her standing near the library door. Sandra Wilcox, his goddess. Morning sunlight poured through the tall window at the end of the hallway, outlining her in flame, turning her fair hair incandescent, blinding him. But that was okay because he didn't plan to use his eyes again. She was talking to two girls, probably about the petition she was holding. Tess was also there, standing at a table near the library entrance, reading a Greenpeace pamphlet. In the bright sunlight, her hair shone like a new penny. "If you're trying to sneak up on me," she said when he came to a halt beside her, "I think you should know that you'd made a rotten spy. I spotted you on the stairs, so what do you want now?" "Nothing from you." "Good. That's what you're going to get." She paused. "What do you really want?" "Can't tell you. I've already sent my wish list to Santa. Anyway, it's X-rated." "You," she laughed. "PG-13 tops." A lot she knew. He picked up an identical pamphlet. "I need to talk to Sandra. I guess she's busy." Sandra, I might have figured. She turned to her, reading, "You are so obvious." "Am not, are too," he mentally filled in the blanks. Then remembered something as they stood side by side staring at their pamphlets. "I read your article about the science fiction convention you went to. It isn't bad. Oh, it wasn't bad." Tess worked on the school paper. Next year, everyone expected her to be editor. For a moment, she stood startled and pleased. It was good, wasn't it? Actually, that story was one of my favorites. Her hair fascinated him. He wondered what it would be like to touch, whether it would be springy under his hands or soft. She looked almost pretty when she smiled, and that discovery puzzled him too. Tess probably thought the flak jack plus the camera hanging on a strap around her neck made her look like a real investigative reporter. He had no idea why he was noticing these things when he was only a few feet away from the girl who occupied his fevered dreams. As Tess began to turn away, Ira remembered that her name was on the list. "Wait, what's this?" she asked as he handed her a notice. "From Miss Rudley. I have to give one to Sandra." "You do that." She began reading the announcement. "Go talk to Sandra." He turned back toward the source of the light as a girl finished signing Sandra's petition. She moved away. "Hi, Ira." Sandra smiled at him. Ira was afraid that he would throw up or worse. "I guess class is starting soon." Her smile made him feel like he was standing in front of a warm fire. "Class," he croaked. "Soon?" He glanced at the wall clock. "Very soon." He held out an announcement. "I have something for you from Miss Rudley." "Thanks. Have you signed our petition yet?" She held out the clipboard. "We plan to present it to the school trustees on Friday." He'd sign 10 times if she would smile at him again. 100 times for a kiss. "Do you have a pen?" She pointed at a pen attached by string to the clipboard. Ira's ear grew hot. He had just made a fool of himself in front of Sandra. She had positive proof that he was an idiot. He managed to balance the petition on top of his books as he signed, praying that everything wouldn't fall to the floor. As he signed, what was he signing? "How many signatures do you have so far?" Tess asked Sandra as she strolled up to them. "Almost 200, the other girl answered. "There are still a few days left. Your story helped." Wait a minute. "Tell me if there's anything else I can do." He scanned the top of the page rapidly. "Daycare. The petition asked for a classroom at Bennington High to be used as a nursery so students with babies could return to classes. Too bad there aren't any extra classrooms," Tess said. "It's a great idea," Ira said loudly. "Great." Sandra's silver charm bracelet tinkled as she took the clipboard from him. The charm bracelet had come from Patrick, her boyfriend. They had been going together since the previous summer. Patrick was 18, a freshman at the university. Ira had seen them together, hand in hand, arm in arm, and on one horrible occasion, lip to lip. He had to admit that they looked good together. If they were in a movie, Patrick would be cast as Sandra's surfer boy friend. Just thinking about him gave Ira a headache. Still, rumor had it that Sandra had a lot of free time on her hands lately. Ira was hoping that meant she and Patrick had broken up. He'd even been practicing in front of his mirror. I have a great shoulder to cry on, Sandy. Sandra's eyes sparkled when she looked up. Next Thursday, that's great. I've really been looking forward to Argus. I'm coming that night too, Ira said. Tess gave him a sharp look, and he remembered that she was on the list as well. I haven't decided whether I'm going, she said. Sandra's next words stopped him before he could respond. The timing is marvelous, too. I can't see Patrick because of Hell Week. He's really been hitting the books. Hell Week, he said flatly. Hell Week is what they call exam week at the university, Sandra explained. Patrick has 5 finals. The buzzer sounded. Tess turned to go. See you later, Ira. Not Ichabod, but the red, I can talk today, don't worry. But the red-haired girl's use of his correct name barely registered. He sighed deeply. The only reason Sandra wasn't seeing her boyfriend was because he had to study. I'm not going to read chapter 2, but let me see first. Unless it's really, really short. Because for some reason, I'm having trouble reading this. See how many pages it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm not going to be able to read it. Because most likely by the time that I finish it, it'll be past the time that, you know. Yeah. I don't know what the trouble is. I think it's just when I'm not used to reading out loud. Because if I was to read this in my head, then yeah, I could read a lot faster. Well, thank you guys for listening. I hope this is going to go well. I didn't realize this was just like kind of hard. And these words shouldn't be hard to me. By the way, the reason I was looking on the side of this book, I didn't know whether this was YA or what. And then I looked and it's way before I think they started using YA. It's teen fiction. So yeah, that's the end of that chapter. I'm wondering if he's just so far. I'm wondering if he's going to end up with not Sandra, but Tess. Because the way he's talking about her, like, it's like a love-hate relationship between Tess and him, and then it's like his best friend. Like, if anybody's ever watched Sky High, like that, like, best friend, and then it's like they pick on each other. And then Sandra's just a girl that he's in love with, but he's too afraid to tell her. So far, that's what I'm getting. And that's just one chapter. I can't wait to get to the ending so I can tell who he ends up with. If he ends up with anybody. So I guess I'll see you guys whenever I can read the other page. Bye.